Gotta love that theme song, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the first ever episode of Debatable, the show that is a monument to my ego. I'm your host, Johnny Ace. Today, we are going to make the definitive top 10 list for movie monsters. That's right, not Kevin, who was a real-life monster, as I discovered today when I came in off a very, very long flight from Rio de Janeiro. I was practicing Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu down there. No, I'm sorry, I was teaching Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. It doesn't matter, ladies and gentlemen. If you don't know how this show works, here's how it's gonna work. We got two amazing guests. They're gonna introduce themselves in 1 second when I'm done talking. After that, we are going to have 5 picks and 5 picks from each of them, and we're gonna set the definitive top 10 list. I will decide based on their ability to argue and my ability to be hysterical. Without further ado, let's meet our guests. Please introduce yourselves.
Should I start?
Yeah, go for it. You're the guest.
Okay. I'm television's Jeff Dye. I've also been, thank you. I've also been reading The Secret. So I'm a millionaire, Red Bull drinker, debatable champion.
Here we go.
You haven't won yet. No, I've been reading The Secret. These are all, I'm putting this out in the universe.
You're not gonna drink.
And civil rights activist.
Okay.
Please don't interrupt me during my intro.
I apologize. I apologize.
You want it back? You shouldn't have given it
Well,
to me.
the ace didn't know if you were going to drink it or not, ladies and
it's your
gentlemen.
turn, bud.
And returning for his, I assume, 4th episode or 3rd episode, why don't you tell us who you are, Chachi?
Hey everybody, I'm Greg Miller and I'm living a nightmare. Somehow Johnny Ace is the new host of this, and Jeff Dye is just as bad as real Nick, and I don't know what's happening
No, I'm
anymore.
good.
My favorite thing that happened today, if I could take a second, is Jeff came in and he brought one of his friends with him. And
Yeah.
his friend talks to Jeff like you guys all talk to Nick, and I realize every
You're
organization
Nick!
has
you
a
are
Nick.
Nick!
Every organization has a Nick, and you're better off for it. Of course, ladies and gentlemen, if you want to be a part of this show, you can back us at the bronze tier or above. We'll tell you guys how that's going to happen in later rounds. Let me see. Did I forget
What did
anything?
Greg mean when you said I'm as bad as Nick?
I mean, I can just already tell, like the way your humor is, and like
Yeah.
the shot you're gonna take people out at the knees.
No, I won't. I play fair.
No, I don't believe that for a
He's
second.
nice, remember?
Yeah, we're friends.
Today, we're brought to you by Robinhood and Alien Blackout, but we'll get to that a little bit later. Right now, I want to kick this thing off with a bang. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for round 1. Roll the graphic.
No.
Not yet?
No, we don't have
The Ace required graphics.
You didn't make anything.
Nick did not make the graphic last night. We're going to have that for four or 5 episodes from now.
Get some
Do we
graphics.
clap now?
Yeah, I
Do we clap?
might as well do something.
Fantastic.
What do you want the graphic to look like, you think?
But just round 1.
Red. It
Was
should
cool?
match the branding.
Sure, yeah, it should be like, yeah, it should look like
Should
that,
that.
probably.
I don't really know anymore.
Round 1.
All right, the idea here is simple. Each combatant is going to pick 5 of the top movie monsters, and they're going to argue for them. We're going to go 1 and 1, and then we're going to compile the beginning of the top 10 list. These are all, remember, based on their ability to argue and my ability to be awesome. What's up? Kevin, give me the close-up for that.
Jesus Christ.
What's this? That's it. It was
whose
subtle. Do you
show
see what
is
I'm
this,
saying?
Greg?
It was so subtle.
Also, why are you standing on LaCroix?
Because it turns out the Ace is just a little too short for this podium we bought for that behemoth of a Shrek monster that used to host this show.
No.
He's gone now. He died. R.I.P. Did he
Damn,
die?
I didn't know Jared died.
Jesus.
Oh my gosh. Where's your bedside
I
manner?
don't know. I looked in the fridge and I found like a half-eaten ham, and I just assumed that was his call. That was like his goodbye card.
Sure.
Like he carved goodbye into it.
Oh, no.
But it was a little moldy. All right, let's kick this off. Who gets to go first? You know what?
You're the host!
I'll decide. Let me tell you what it
Jesus.
is. Here's how the Ace Man's going to decide this. We like to move around. Jared was stuck there. Hold this. Thank you. I want you guys to pick a card. Highest card wins. Goes first.
God.
Highest card wins.
Oh
Goes
my
first.
God.
Pick
Highest
a card.
card?
Who's it going to be? Who's it going to be?
I'll have this one.
I'll take this one then.
There it is. Show him to the camera.
I
Two-shot.
got the.
I have the Ace of
Hearts.
Shields.
There you go, ladies and gentlemen. It all comes up aces here on the Ace Man hosts.
What's higher? Shields or
Heart.
love? Hearts.
Here's what we're gonna do. We're just gonna give it to you because you're the guest. You
I
get
like
to go
that.
first. Give us your first pick
right.
for movie monsters.
Is this a piece? You have a Starbucks?
It's not Starbucks. It's a treat, like a pastry, and that was a paper that I wrote on. So, thank you. I
Pro
think,
move.
First of all, what makes a good monster, right? That's what I was in the measuring.
I like where your head's at. I like where you're
all
thinking
of
so
my
far.
choices are based on, 1, popularity, the people count,
Naturally.
cool factor, scariness, and overall, just, I guess coolness is the same thing. So those 3. I'm gonna start with Gojira. Godzilla.
Sure. King of the monster.
Yeah, and his nickname is King of the Monsters. We've been seeing this guy for 65 years. That's how old Godzilla is in the movie industry. He was a good guy. He's a bad guy. Sometimes now he's a pet. Little spoiler. Also, he was even so cool they made him a robot once. You know, Mecha Godzilla.
Sure.
He's had many great villains, great fights. He always returns. He's had many looks, which I appreciate. He's definitely the most popular. He definitely has the cool factor. And I think for scariness, yeah, come on. In fact, so many other monsters have been designed after the Godzilla model. Like Cloverfield and those kind of things.
Sure.
Greg,
Here's the problem. Yeah.
am I allowed to ask a follow-up question?
You're the host. Do whatever you want.
Thanks, Greg. Back to me. What's a better movie? The one that came out with the guy from Breaking Bad or the one with Ferris Bueller?
Oh, wow.
The
That's
Godzilla
a great
movies.
question. That's a great question.
That monster.
It's contingent.
That monster is in both of them. Godzilla.
It's fair. Great
Yeah,
answer.
so both, bro.
Your equal opportunity.
Holy shit.
Greg, rebuttal.
I think you stumble on a lot of stuff here, and I don't like your scale. I don't like what you're doing. This three-way of picking.
Why are you
right?
mad at me? I thought we were friends.
No, not a debatable. No one's a friend
Okay,
here. And
fair enough.
apparently, it's
As long as I know it just lives here.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Here. No.
Okay,
outside
yeah.
of this, we're cool and stuff. We'll
Okay,
talk wrestling.
good.
some more. Here, though, the problem is that you're just being too broad. You're saying Godzilla and trying to bring in 60 years of convoluted history, bad movies, as Nick has pointed. I'm sorry, as Johnny Ace has pointed out.
that's
as the Ace has
subjective.
pointed out.
I just don't get it. I don't.
Yeah,
I don't know how
you're
hard
bringing up
this
the
is.
Matthew Broderick one that we did not like that one. We all agreed.
But it did have a dope cover of Kashmir.
I'm not gonna stop.
And
P. Diddy, exactly.
The star, Godzilla.
What I'm gonna do for my first pick,
You know, I
ladies
hung
and
out with
gentlemen,
P.
and
Diddy
for
in
all
Malta
my
2
picks,
summers
I'm
ago.
not listening to this Malta story that is not
We
true.
went from Malta to Wimbledon. It was 1996.
Also,
It
don't
was
say
fantastic.
big words like
It was
convoluted.
me.
Don't try to trick me.
It was me.
Yeah, dude, the biggest.
It was me, P. Diddy, and Kirsten Dunst from the hot film at the time just came out, Interview with a Vampire.
She
She's an
was a
up-and-comer.
child. She was a
She
child.
liked Wimbledon. No one knew at the time she was going to star in a movie called Wimbledon with Paul
That's
Bettany.
The problem with how Jeff Dye is trying to play this is that he's being too broad. The way I judge cool movie monsters is that I'm picking monsters from a movie and telling you why in that movie that was the greatest incarnation of them. And that's why, ladies and gentlemen, I've decided to start with Dracula from Monster Squad.
Okay.
Now, as we all remember
was scary.
Monster Squad, when we think of Monster Squad, we get caught up thinking of the Monster Squad.
Yeah.
The kids that were there to stop the monsters, right?
Okay.
And they had,
Also a Shane Black original.
Exactly. A question from the host, Johnny Ace.
Was Fred Savage in Monster Squad?
Great question. Answer: he was not. But his brother from Wonder Years was. He stepped on Fat Kid's thing, and then the bully rode up and was like, "You got to eat it." He's like, "I don't want to eat it."
Can I interject real fast?
Sure, Jeff.
First of all, I don't like fat kid bullying. I don't know why you're
Well,
so
first
a
off,
fan of
they
it.
called him
And
Fat
second
Kid.
of
That's
all,
what his name was in the
Dracula
movie.
and Monster Squad used very inappropriate language towards a child and a female child, which I think was inappropriate.
It was setting up
called
that
her
he's
a
a villain.
B-word.
He's a monster.
He called her a B word.
This wasn't
in a
monsters
kid's
that are
film,
sweet.
And you're like, "Oh, Dracula's #1." It's not.
He
was
assembled
bad
a
guy.
squad of monsters. That's what people don't understand about the Monster Squad movie. Double entendre, double meaning for the name.
King of the Monsters.
It was the kids. No, that was Godzilla.
Okay.
It was the kids getting together to stop the monsters, but it was also the monsters. He gets Mummy, he gets Wolfman, he gets Creature from the Black Lagoon.
a lot
He
of
gets a
monsters.
harem of vampires. He has Frankenstein for a little bit, but they lose him in this whole thing. But that Dracula's scary. That Dracula's smart. That Dracula, one of the top movie monsters of all time.
Here is my decision on this first round. Okay? I like both your choices. First off, high five each other right now.
Yeah.
Because you guys both did great.
I love this
You
guy.
guys
I
both
will
did
also
great.
say, and this might work against
Ace is
me. whatever
interrupting
want.
you. Maybe it should work against you.
No, I'm just saying
Do what you
that
gotta do.
he's going to say that, Godzilla's convoluted and all this history. You're just trying to get the obscure factor because you know that you're fans and everybody likes to be like real super obscure. Well, just because it's obscure does not make it tenacious, my friends.
You're just using big words now. You don't even know what that means.
You're like a beautiful walking thesaurus.
Thank
and
you.
I appreciate that for you.
That's my favorite dinosaur.
Here's where we're gonna check in here. I'm gonna start making the list right now, and here's my decision. We're gonna put Godzilla at #1, Monster Squad, Dracula from Monster Squad at #2, and here's why. Here's why. Greg, you had me all the way up until Frankenstein. What is the sign of a good leader? Is it that he's charismatic? Is it that he's beautiful? Is it that he has a better beard than anyone else in the office? Nay, it is that he inspires loyalty amongst his ranks. And Frankenstein was never really in. Why did he hire him in the first place? It took a little girl to just like hold his hand, and he's like, "I'm done. I'm on the other
Show
side of
him
the scene."
love.
It was bullshit. Okay.
But also, you
If
named a
can't
lot
get
of
loyalty out
monsters
your
in that
people-
movie.
Because he was the top of the pyramid scheme of monsters. He was the smartest one. He was the top monster.
smart enough to keep-
Godzilla's never fucking organized a bunch of
Let me ask you a
goddamn
question.
lizards.
He's
Have we
from
ever-
Suicide Squad.
Dracula from Monster Squad, not Suicide Squad.
That's great.
Good job, Barrett.
I pulled up the list. I'm not done.
There it is.
I'm not done. I just put a different word in there.
I'm not done. I just put a placeholder for the word monster. Placeholder suicide.
Look at this. We can see the list for the first time ever. The show's already better with
Good
me
job,
on
Johnny.
it.
That is a good.
Ah,
that
that's
is a good
so
one.
fantastic. All right, guys. Good job with that one. Let's
you.
go. Let's see. What do we have down? Is it back to Jeff or is it back to you, Greg? Let's go to you, Greg.
I
Greg,
went
let's
first
go to
last
you.
time. You go first.
Let's go to you.
That makes sense.
Nick, you point down when you point at them?
If I point down, you're going to wake the Gila monster. You don't want that.
Jared, please come back. My pick for the second greatest movie monster in all existence is the aliens from Independence Day. These
cool.
guys, they were cool. Thank you, Nick. I want that. Johnny, I want that on the record.
Hold on, I'm
said it's
texting
cool.
Josh McCouga. Hold on.
Why? Why would you do that during my argument?
Well, because he said my trailer for that comedy doc was great. And I
Oh
said,
my
thanks,
God.
man.
The aliens from Independence Day, ladies and gentlemen, they are locusts, moving planet to planet, eradicating everything they see. They got telepathy, they got cool suits, they got cool ships, they got a cool barrier, invisible barrier to stop everybody.
making great
They can
points.
fly really great. They got a big old mothership. They get taken out in a cool way. Aliens from Independence Day are awesome. They are a top movie monster because they were scary. They scared us all. And they didn't, you know.
On a holiday.
Exactly, right? Give us a chance. They come in, they wipe how much life off of Earth. They go to all the major cities, blow them up.
Yeah.
We got nothing for it. Not only that, we got a bunch of morons out there dancing on top of buildings with signs, excited to see them.
vegans.
Exactly, that's what they get.
It's just really unfortunate that they chose a planet where water was their Achilles heel. You know what I mean?
That's signs.
Yeah, different movie. But it's all right. Hey, here's my argument. I agree with all the things he said. They got a cool look.
They do have a cool
got the. In fact, everything Greg just said is not only accurate, but should be taken into account for my next pick.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Predator has a great look. He's got the mothership. He was in 5 movies. In fact, one where he fought aliens. And I would also suspect, as
Not
a
the
little
same
caveat
aliens.
here, they were very inspired in Independence Day to design the monsters that he thinks look so cool after Predator. If you get a side by side, it looks like the people that were making that monster were like, what would be cool? Let's do a knockoff version of Predator and then have Will Smith make some cute little remarks and some go, ooh, I'm Will Smith, I'm a hip guy, let's do whatever.
Stupid.
Listen, Predator is not so sure your aliens were with Will Smith. My Predator had co-stars such as Arnold Schwarzenegger, Danny Glover, Keegan-Michael Key, Olivia Munn, Jesse the Body Ventura, Carl Weathers. These are just some of the co-stars that Predator, who had all the attributes that his janky Independence Day monster had, and had better stars.
Now here's why.
2-word rebuttal. Jeff Goldblum.
Oh my God, you stole the words right out of my mouth. The problem with Jeff Goldblum is he's a trump card. Okay, he's a trump card.
He is.
But I will say this: these are compelling arguments. You guys are really for my first show ever. You guys are
We're coming
out
We're coming
hard.
Yeah.
Now, Greg, great argument, right? I remember the scene in Independence Day where Data gets the thing wrapped around, he's like, "Let me out." No, and everyone's like, "I don't think that's his real voice.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't think that's what he sounds like, right?"
Data?
Yeah, it's Brett Spinner. But I have to, unfortunately, I got to put Predator at number 1.
Predator's
Right
pretty
now.
cool.
And here's why. Here's why. All you have to do is this. No. Get it up.
Oh, yeah. You son of a bitch.
Son of a bitch.
Look at that.
Predator.
That's a great
Greatest movie
gift.
of all time.
And Predator's been a star, man, for a long time. He's a great.
We're gonna put Predator at number 1, and we're gonna probably put the Independence Day monsters at number 3, bumping Dracula down to number 4. How does that sound? How does
Yeah,
that
because
sound?
I don't even know how Dracula from Monster Squad is still on this list.
Well, it's
Or
gonna
Dracula
go,
from Suicide Squad.
It's gonna go down. It's gonna go from Suicide Squad. Great.
No, it's Independence Day, the first one. We're not talking about Independence Day Resurgence.
Resurgence.
Did you see Independence Day Resurgence?
Yes, we
Man,
all
what a
did, didn't
movie.
we?
Oh yeah, we went during VidCon.
Yeah. Oh,
Took
you
a
were
break.
there? I thought
Yeah.
that was Nick. Interesting.
What's happening? Oh no, I was there. I was in the row behind you guys.
Can I make one request,
Whatever.
Johnny Ace?
Sure.
I'd like Barrett back there, who's doing a great job on this list. At the end of the names of the monsters, can you put a G or a J so we know who put them up there? So we know who's getting points.
That's probably not a
Put them
bad
in
idea.
parentheses. I think it's more important than even the. Well, maybe not for. You could put Aliens ID4, Dracula, Suicide
Both
Squad.
of my monsters have been in so many films.
Just put it. Just
A lot
put
of
dash
bad
G.
films. They've been in a lot
Predator's
of
been
bad
in
films.
4 films, and then one was Alien versus Predator, and then Godzilla's been in like 1,000 films.
I will argue that
He's also
most of the
international.
Predator films are good. I will say that.
Most
Here,
Predator
actually,
films
let's
are
go
I would
back
say
real
Predator
quick.
1, Predator 2, and Predators are all good films.
Yeah, even the new one I like.
Yeah.
He brought predator dogs. You don't like predator? Everyone likes dogs.
I do like dogs.
And he's got predator dogs.
You
He's
know
a
what?
super predator. Here's
great
another thing
at
I'll
this.
say. Godzilla. If you ask people about Dracula for Monster Squad in Korea, like, do you know about the Monster Squad movie by Shane Black with Dracula and Frankenstein and werewolves? They go, huh? But if you ask him about Godzilla, he's an international celebrity. Dude.
Yes.
Godzilla's worldwide, baby.
To put it in terms that you can understand, he's like the
so
Greg Miller of movies.
What you guys are doing, here's the
Popularity.
problem, is that I
Popularity.
hate to do this, you know what I mean, but I of course am artisanal, you know what I mean, small batch. I'm in here giving you the good local shops, and all you guys want to do is shove a McDonald's burger in your fucking
Hey,
face.
man,
why is
I'll tell you
McDonald's the
what.
most
Stick to
popular
my fucking
burger?
stomach.
Nuggets.
Popular because it's good, baby.
I'd go for some nuggets right now if I'm talking about. Are we sending people out?
He's right.
Are we sending people out for nuggets?
Thank you.
Jeff, you're up next.
Okay.
What's your next one?
My next one is King Kong.
Woo!
He fought our number 2, Godzilla. He's a giant ape. We love giant apes.
He likes blondes.
He's been in a lot of movies. He's
ace
got
likes
the
blondes.
ladies. He's got the muscles. He is a very, very, very cool, scary, realistic, misunderstood.
Realistic?
Yeah, he's misunderstood.
You ever seen an ape?
That makes him realistic. Like, you're like, oh,
He's
he's conflicted. Society, and they wanted this thing. They want to put him on a big theater stage, but then he's just escaping. He's got a family. I think King Kong is a perfect monster because he flirts the line between good and bad, and society and jungle.
Rebuttal.
King Kong sucks.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, what?
That's it. You're done. You're
That's
good.
the
All right,
argument.
You're
you
good.
know who doesn't suck? You know what doesn't
Yep,
suck?
you're right.
The xenomorphs from Alien.
Wow.
And
That's a great-
Aliens. And
Son of a
Aliens.
bitch, you're making this hard.
Are you kidding me
I don't
right
wanna be
now?
here anymore.
I'm telling you, King Kong, I respect the fact that, yeah, he was a claymation ape back when everybody's like, oh my God, is the earth flat? I don't know what's happening. But you gotta talk about these xenomorphs. They've made you know. Nobody in space can hear you scream, right? You got Ripley in there. You wanna talk about supporting cast. You got Rock from the show Rock. Not The Rock, but Rock in Alien 3. You got Winona Ryder out there. You got Paul Reiser. But then you got these aliens that are terrifying on so many different levels.
Yeah, I
They're
agree.
terrifying, of course, in the fact that they're in the vents, they're chasing you down. Michael Biehn can't even kill him, and he can kill anything.
They're
then you
slimy.
got, let's say you get away, you're fine. Guess what, everybody? You know what's scarier than a fucking scorpion and a spider? If they had sex and then that thing fucking lays an egg in your goddamn stomach after strapping to you
Yeah.
fucking face hugger style. These things are terrifying at
Unplanned
every level.
pregnancy
They're
is
cool on
terrifying.
every level. You know what I mean?
Terrifying.
It's the and then the movie, of course, goes. You know, it's like the first one so scary, so like survival horror, and then the second one's more of an action flick. Like it's a lineage there. You know what I mean? And a beautiful lineage. And then you got the Queen. Then you got fucking Ripley coming back, and she's a clone. Has a weird relationship with this thing that was cloned off of her. Aliens are fucking the coolest movie monsters.
JD, rebuttal.
In fact, you won't get a rebuttal from me. I knew that at one point, if
Yeah.
I didn't say the xenomorph, you would.
Yeah.
So I am submitting because it is a cool monster. I wish you would have quit a little sooner. In fact, I think you're arguing with you were almost
You might
talking
turn a
yourself
yes
out
into
of
a no. You
Yeah,
see what I'm saying?
Because
is
you
what
already
he's saying.
you already had it. And I think I will submit to the xenomorph as a great, great, great monster.
As much-
And I would be denying my true heart if I was to even argue against the xenomorph.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's times like this that I dread having this job, okay?
Jesus fucking.
This is a hard pick.
He's an animal.
This is a hard pick for the ace because
a
you're
monster.
this is a Sophie's choice if I've ever seen one.
Yeah.
For the top slot, we have 2 contenders in the ace's brain right now. And there's not a lot going on in there. So he's got plenty of time to think about this.
He's
And
not
I
bet-
spent a long time as a
He's
child
not better than Predator or
growing up in the
Godzilla.
80s. The xenomorphs versus a predator is always a big thing. You know,
Yeah.
always a big debate. And I gotta say, as a scarier movie monster, the Predator's cool, but nothing's more scarier than the xenomorphs. Let's put that at number 1.
Yeah!
And let's put that horrible choice of King Kong at number 6. That's just going at number 6.
Yeah!
He's better than Dracula.
Oh man.
No, I don't think so, no.
From
Dracula.
Suicide Squad, he
Have you
picked a
seen Bram
specific
Stoker's
Dracula.
Dracula?
Who's like some weird character, like some weird Burbank actor that's like, I'm this, out of the way, you little bitch. And he calls like a little kid a bitch. I
Yeah,
think
you
that's
didn't see it
very
coming, it was great.
inappropriate.
And
You
Wolfman
know,
had nards. It's a great
He just needed to take a break from his Shakespeare training to call someone a bitch.
I
You gotta
didn't
do that
like it.
sometimes.
I
You gotta
thought it
step
was
out of your comfort
wildly
zone, try things out.
inappropriate. Wildly inappropriate.
I used to only speak in Cockney. Don't do that anymore. Jeff, you're up. What's next?
He's picking a lot of aliens over here. I think it's your turn to go first.
Thank you for being the host of the show.
Jeff, you're next.
Okay,
That's a
then
great point,
I
too.
will go. All right. my pick for the, I think it would be a number 3 spot or something, probably. If I had to
Don't
wiggle
put
in
that
there.
in his
If I
head.
had to
No.
wiggle
You're
in.
arguing. You're already my favorite. I want you to know that.
Thank you.
And I'm saying, let's call a spade here.
That's
I'm
right.
not supposed to be partial, but look at how the two of these people are dressed. Who decided to match the ace today? You
This
see, let's
guy.
cut to the
Go
white
on.
shot,
This
please.
guy.
Kevin.
Look at
Do you
that.
see this?
See that?
We didn't plan this.
We look like
I
a-
met him 5 minutes before the show. I don't like to get in people's heads, so I come right in right before the show.
We look like some cool ass tag team in pro wrestling.
We are
Sure.
like,
Action.
yeah, we're like brothers. We're like the movie Twins, but
Yeah.
I'm clearly the Danny DeVito character.
Yeah.
I forgot why I was talking about that. Go ahead and go.
All right.
Go ahead and go. You're
So I pick for my monster. He seems.
You're the judge. Why are you leaving set?
I need a spot for my thing here.
He seems to be maybe too humanoid to be a monster.
Sure.
However, he is a demon that goes into your dreams who
Oh, here
was
we go.
once a pedophile. Freddy Krueger.
Oh, you are.
Worst kind of monster.
Cool factor. He's got the scariness and, of course, the popularity, which I know you like obscurity. However, you just use xenomorph, so if we're going to scrap all obscurity and go for these home run hitters, Freddy Krueger is your choice.
Rebuttal.
Just because he's a pedophile?
No, because he's very scary. You don't want to sleep. You're like, oh, I'm going to fall asleep. And, like, everybody needs sleep at some
He
point.
keeps
He'll
getting beat
get
by
you.
kids. He
He
keeps
also-
getting beat by the kids.
He doesn't get beat.
Yeah, he does.
No.
Every movie ends with him and like, oh, I got thwarted by the kids.
How do you want him to end the movie?
I mean, if he's the greatest movie
He
monster,
continues
I
to
want
keep
him to
going.
win. Just like my next pick, Kevin Spacey. In
Wow.
Seven,
Wow.
in Seven,
Okay.
he played a character named
Also a
John
pedophile.
Doe, of course.
Allegedly.
And what he did is play everyone. He beat everyone at their own game. And that's the thing. He takes people out of their normal day lives and puts them into the 7 deadly sins, of course, right? Makes that dude eat all that spaghetti, which sounds delicious, but would get
Right.
old
That was
over a while, you know
freaky.
what I
I
mean?
hated
Takes the
that.
dude's flesh, then he stabs the child, or he does the sloth thing with the child molester. Then he has that guy. Remember, Nick, I'm sorry, Johnny Ace.
Excuse me? What? Yes.
You're gonna tell me you're watching Seven,
Terrifying.
and when he comes
What's in the
in,
box?
they find the guy who
What's
had
in
to
the
fuck the
box?
prostitute
Yeah.
to death with the bladed cock.
Yeah.
You're gonna tell me that isn't like that didn't fuck you up for a little bit? Just a second, Ace. Just a second for
Yeah.
Ace.
Here's what I'm going to tell you, and maybe I'm remembering this wrong, but wasn't that guy also in Aliens 3? No, 4.
That
Alien
actor?
Resurrection. Yeah. Wasn't he the guy they find at the end that goes like, "What's inside me? What's inside me?"
yeah,
I think that
yeah.
was him. He just nails. He's typecast, but he's nailing.
I mean,
that
he's in the
character.
best monster movies of all time, right? And then, of course, yeah, we come to the end, right? Freddy Krueger always, drat, I lost it. At
But
the
he
end,
gets
he
sequels.
plays them.
He's
he
obviously
plays
not
everybody.
been thwarted because he gets a ton of other movies.
Oh, whatever. Yeah, Wes
Not
Craven's
to
a new
mention,
nightmare.
you
Get
didn't
the
even
fuck out of
name
here.
the character
John
that's
Doe,
supposed
I
to be
did
the
say that.
best monster.
I said it.
Kevin Spacey's name is John Doe in that movie?
Yeah, they
it
never
really
even
is.
really remember. He cuts off
This
his
is-
So he
cuts off
didn't
his
have a
fingertips.
name, or did he?
I mean,
have a name?
they call him John Doe throughout the movie. I mean, that's
Oh,
what
okay,
it's
all
named.
right, fair enough.
Yeah.
This is hard for me.
Is it one of the scariest? Think of it when you think of a monster, and I know I'm grounding this in reality instead of Jeff Dye's dreams
Freddy
of Freddy
Krueger.
Krueger coming in and being like, "Ooh, Clarice." What I'm here
Sorry,
to tell
they're
you
monsters. That's
is
what
that this is
monsters
a
are.
real monster from our world, and he won, Nick. His
Okay.
plan was executed perfectly. He won.
Okay.
Well, then I guess
Okay.
we should just pick Hitler at number 1 if we're going to make humans with the term monster as monsters. I think Freddy Krueger is very clearly a real monster, and Kevin Spacey is just a human who does bad things.
We're going to take a step back for a second, ladies and gentlemen. Take this down a level. We're going to go back to the year 1986.
Great year.
Johnny Ace, a small boy in Riverside, California, growing up, didn't know how big of a star he was going to be.
Did he
back
know he
then.
was growing up in the same town as Nick Scarpino?
Had no idea.
Wow.
Weird. That's why they became friends. He watched the movie Nightmare on
why.
Elm Street 3. The Dream Warriors, I think is what that was
Oh,
called.
that's a bad one.
And we watched it during the day, and then everyone else went outside to play in the pool. And young John L. Ace, Esquire, MD, Notary Public, was so terrified of that movie that he couldn't sleep for like 3 days. He couldn't even go out. Like, he went out to the pool and was scared of water. Why? I don't know. There was no water in the film. They were in an insane asylum the entire time. One of the only monsters that I have legitimately had nightmares about. So unfortunately, John Doe, great pick. Great pick. Terrible pick, though. That's going to go right in between Dracula and King Kong. Again, King Kong, worst pick of the entire list so far. But we are going to put
I love monkeys.
Freddy Krueger right below Godzilla in the number 4 spot. That's where it's
Oh,
going to
right.
go.
Freddy Krueger at number 4.
Yeah.
Oh, you
Bump it all down.
changed
Bump it all
that
down.
Oh, yeah, okay.
There you go.
Kevin Spacey from Baby Driver.
Yeah. He was in that movie.
He was in that movie. Yeah.
You should put.
was
Barry, you
that,
missed the obvious joke.
Can
of
you
that,
show this
a
to the kids as you
K-Pax.
build it?
It's Kevin Spacey from K-Pax.
Was that the Marlon Wayans movie where he was a tiny baby? They projected the face of Marlon Wayans on a little baby.
No, that was White Chicks. Okay.
Johnny, can I ask one favor too? As
Sure.
you get your sea legs here.
Yeah.
We are an audio podcast as well. You want to run people through the list?
Let's run through the list, ladies and gentlemen. At number 1 right now, Xenomorphs from the Alien franchise and Predator, which, by the way, I didn't even think about that. Aliens and everything. You want your movie to be scary, you nailed that one. Number 2, Predator. Very close choice there. I make 1 degree off.
That's the coolest looking monster.
Number 3, Godzilla. Number 4, Freddy Krueger. Number 5, Aliens from Independence Day. Number 6, Dracula from the Suicide Squad. Number 7, Kevin Spacey in real life and from Baby Driver. And number 8, rounding out just the bare bottom of the list,
What's your problem
King Kong.
with King Kong?
King Kong. Never made a good movie. That Peter Jackson King Kong, 18 hours long. It's like, dude, get an editor and make The Hobbit 1 movie. Why does it have to be fucking 3 movies?
All right, but can I make an argument to that?
Lord of the Rings sucks!
Yes, you may.
Can I make an argument to
Yes,
that?
you may.
When I first started stand-up comedy, I would listen to a record of Richard Pryor. And I remember thinking, I don't get it. What's the big deal? This guy's a hack. It's blah, blah. I forgot that he was doing it first. I'm coming into a different reality of time period where I'm watching all these young comedians rip off Richard Pryor, so I think he's a hack. No, they're the hacks. He's the originator. King Kong was in one of the original. That movie was groundbreaking at the time. You have to get into that time period and go, wow, this is really something special. This is revolutionary. And then it's turned into some garbage CGI movies. That's all.
Barrett, I'm going to need you to Google Who Cares for me and just see. I'm kidding about that, ladies.
Making a good point, I think.
I think you are making a good point, but I would probably argue
was a
that Dracula
King
showed
Kong-
up in popular media before King Kong.
King Kong's
I
a
will just say that.
trailblazer.
He is a trailblazer.
And he said Dracula from a specific children's movie
Yeah,
by
I hated
Shane
that movie,
Black.
so I tried to watch it again.
He's
It
not
was
even
not very
naming
good.
Dracula the cool, smooth guy.
You're making a lot of good points, but unfortunately we don't have time for this. The final 2.
All right.
Here we go. Who went last time? I wasn't paying attention.
Jeff
I did.
I
Okay,
hate you.
Greg, it's up.
It's an embarrassment, and this list is an embarrassment, and it's ridiculous that we've gotten this far and we haven't talked about Jason Voorhees. Friday the 13th, part 2. He's in part 1, obviously, as a plot point, but not as the monster. What can we say about Jason Voorhees except he is the best unstoppable killing machine from this? You want to talk about Mike Myers, you want to talk about Freddy Krueger, who sucks. Jason Voorhees is the one that's awesome. Always coming at you. He's got a cool song. As he comes through. You know he's coming. Every movie, he switches it up.
You would think that, by the way, when they hear the song, run.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? I don't understand. If someone would be like, hey, if you hear just get out.
I
Get
think
out.
this would pertain to your
GTF out.
interest too, of course, Johnny, that he's just got a vendetta against kids fucking. But he lets them fuck first, and then he lets us watch a little bit.
pretty
Then he
cool.
kills them. Maybe it's a machete, maybe it's a spear. Maybe he's got his rib cage exposed, maybe he's going to hell. Jason, maybe he's going to space. Jason traverses the world keeping us entertained.
Yeah.
And as someone who watched all the Friday the 13th movies last Halloween, well, whatever, last Halloween, they hold up. They're
Yeah.
fun. They're a romp. You know what I mean? And there's a storyline there. Remember when the first time his mask comes off and he's up in the barn and she's out on the
He
boat?
can't see. He's so blind. He's like, I need my
So
mask
good.
to see.
It's
It's like
so
my eyeglasses.
good. You know
That was
what
a
I mean?
great scene.
Well,
Rebuttal.
I think since this is an audio podcast, we should be clear whose voice is whose. Jeff's voice is the guy who's lovable and likable and likes really cool monsters, including some that aren't so popular like King Kong, but Jeff likes them. Greg's the guy who just said it's cool to watch kids fuck
Yeah.
and kid fucking. That's
did say
what
that.
he said. That's
say
what
that.
Greg said, not Jeff Dye.
I mean, like teen kids.
You said kid fucking, and I think it's wildly inappropriate. Which
is.
brings me to my pick.
Taboo, as they say in Malta.
Is,
you know.
Also, since we're being ticky-tacky here, I would like to use my pick of Dracula. I would like to pick Dracula since you picked a very specific Dracula from Monster Squad.
Oh, shit.
I'm picking Dracula from Bram Stoker's Dracula. Very cool guy. Also, Dracula can't even see his own reflection. Yeah, he somehow seems to look so smooth with the suits and the thing. He's very fancy, he's very cool, and he can't even see his own reflection. I pick for number 1, or whatever you choose to be best, Dracula, not the cornball from Burbank that was in Monster Squad.
So you're picking Bram Stoker's Dracula or
Yeah.
Dracula the IP minus Monster Squad?
I think that one. The IP, not minus
Second one,
Monster
yeah,
Squad.
you
Too
just-
broad.
you
That's
just
too
talked
broad.
yourself
You're gonna tell
out.
me there's not bad Draculas out there?
No, we're going to narrow it down to Bram Stoker's Dracula.
Let's do Bram Stoker's. I said.
And I'll tell you why. Because the beginning of Bram Stoker's Dracula, Gary Oldman, probably
cool.
arguably the greatest living actor living today.
Put him on the map.
Okay, just disappears in characters. Just disappear. You seen The Professional? Great film, totally different. Walks in at the beginning, and is wearing the coolest armor you've ever seen in any movie ever. Do you remember this?
Yeah.
It was the red armor that looked like muscles, and I remember thinking this movie is gonna be great. And it was not that great. It was kind of boring,
That
and they
part was
cast
cool.
Keanu Reeves, and I was like, I'd rather be watching Point Break, which I watched on the plane ride to Phoenix, but forgot to watch on the way back from Phoenix.
Catherine
I
Bigelow
digress.
Film.
Here's what we're gonna say. Here's the final pick for the list as it stands right now. We are gonna put Dracula, Bram Stoker's Dracula, right above the other Dracula pick. So that's coming in at number 6 right now. Let's put that there.
That's fair and
Let's put that
balanced, and
there.
I like that. I like that, Ace.
Let's put that there.
Wait a minute. This is our last pick?
Yeah.
Well,
No.
no, you have more time.
Well, then we still have the wheel, and we got the Veto.
You got the wheel, you got lots of
there's-
stuff.
And
There's
then you have
plenty
your
of stuff going on.
final pick that you argue for.
Okay.
And Jason Voorhees.
Great video game, too.
Is going to come in right underneath Freddy Krueger at number 5.
Fuck that.
It
Right
Freddy
underneath Freddy
sucks.
Krueger at number 5. There it is.
Wow.
So the list as it stands right now, as soon as Barrett figures out, there we are. There we go.
Don't be mean to him. It's a new system.
Are you kidding me? We have to be mean to him. That's what we do here.
All right.
It's our earned insecurities. The list as it stands right now for audio listeners: number 1, Xenomorphs. Number 2,
Greg.
from Alien.
Jeff.
Number 2, Predator. Number 3, Godzilla.
Jeff.
Number 4, Freddy Krueger.
Jeff.
Number 5, Jason.
Greg.
From Jason X. Aliens from Independence Day.
Greg.
Bram Stoker's Dracula.
Jeff.
Dracula
Greg.
from Monster Squad. Kevin Spacey's John Doe from the popular film
Greg.
7. And rounding out the list, King Kong
Jeff.
from Jeff. So the score, as it sits right now, Jeff, Die 3, Greg Miller coming in at 2. It's anyone's game. It's
I
anyone's
have a
game.
secret pick that I didn't even get to use yet.
Well,
We'll use it at the end.
maybe we'll use it at the end. Maybe the Ace should have read what the last round is, and maybe he'll have to. Yeah, let me see. Can I see this? There you go. Stuff that in there. That's going to be great. We're coming up on round 2, which, if I'm not mistaken, is the wheel spin. But before we do
Yeah.
that, we got to keep these lights on. We got to pay Kevin. We have to keep Baby Barrett fed. Someone said something about McDonald's. And if they go to McDonald's, please bring the Ace back some chicken McNuggets. We love those right there. This
McNuggets.
episode of Debatable is brought to you by Robinhood. What's Robinhood, Jeff? Great question. Robinhood is an investing app that lets you buy and sell stocks, ETFs, options, and cryptos, all commission-free. While other brokerages charge up to $10 for every trade, Robinhood doesn't charge any commission fees, so you can trade stocks and keep all of your profits. Plus, there's no account minimum deposit needed to get started, so you can start investing at any level. The simple, intuitive design of Robinhood makes investing easy for newcomers and experts alike. View easy-to-understand charts and market data and place a trade in just 4 taps on your smartphone. With Robinhood, you can learn how to invest in the market as you build your portfolio, discover new stocks, track your favorite companies, and get custom notifications for price movements so you never miss the right moment to invest. Robinhood is giving listeners of the Kind of Funny Debatable a free stock like Apple, Ford, or Sprint to help you build your portfolio. I'm just in so much stuff, you know what I mean? To build your portfolio, sign up at morningshow.
This is the one show.
.robinhood.com. I'm in other stuff, and you just don't speak the languages. You don't watch it. morningshow.robinhood.com. Check that out. Next up, speaking of xenomorphs, Ace Way. Alien Blackout is our next sponsor. Could you survive standing face to face with the perfect bioengineered killing machine? The Ace probably could. If you're like me, you're probably deathly afraid of xenomorphs. I mean, who isn't? I love aliens. That was one of the things that terrified me when I was a kid. I'm sure you guys are terrified as well. Oh, you're all tough now? That's what
They're
you're going to say?
scared.
You're
I'm just
tough
letting
now?
you do the ad read so we can get back to the game show.
And the fine folks over at Fox Next and D3 Go want to put you to the test in a new chapter of the Alien franchise in Alien Blackout, available today for your mobile device. In Alien Blackout, you must do all that you can to survive, to stay alive while trapped aboard a crippled Weyland-Yutani space station that is carrying a deadly alien organism. Almost on that one, you know? Like the one in the movies. And the Xenomorphs definitely does not like your crew aboard this space station and is ready to tirelessly hunt you and your crew down. Can you survive 7 fear-inducing levels as you take the reins as Amanda Ripley? Yeah, that's right, the Amanda Ripley. You might remember her, referenced in Alien 2. Ellen Ripley's daughter. Guide your crew in Alien Blackout through increasingly challenging situations, only using your wits and the station's failing emergency system. The unpredictability of both the alien and her crew can spell total defeat for the entire station if you don't keep it together. Alien Blackout is a unique, fear-inducing space survival horror mobile game experience that will test the inner nerves of both alien and horror fans alike, where life can end in an instant. Click on the link at our description or head over to www.d3go.com/morningshow and download Alien Blackout for the App Store, Google Play, and Amazon App Store today.
Yeah, I know everything about that game now.
I'll tell you what. I'll tell you what. The Ace has heard a lot of ad reads.
Yeah,
I just crushed that one.
you did.
I just
Good job,
crushed it.
Ace.
Good work,
I
man.
just crushed it. I'll take
Good
it.
job,
Congrats,
Johnny.
man.
Good job, Johnny.
All right, on.
They were thorough about that game.
On to round 2. Now, here's how this is going to work, ladies and gentlemen. We got a wheel right here, okay? Patreon supporters at the bronze tier or above get to put a submission into the wheel. These guys are going to spin at random. When it lands on a number, I will read that submission, and they have to argue each of them and rebut them. Did I nail that? Did I get that right?
Yeah, we spin it, we have
You're
to
gonna
argue
go
that
one.
pick.
Right, okay. I will tell you who the Patreon supporters are when they land with a number. Jeff, since you went first, we'll let Greg go first.
Spin, spin, spin.
Here we are.
I got 15.
You got number 15. That is going to be Augustin Gutierrez.
Gutierrez.
Thank you. The Ace can't see sometimes through these dark
It's
sunglasses.
weird, Ace, because you travel internationally so much. I thought you would have been able to nail that.
Well, plane flights, hard on the old eyesight. He wants you to argue, oh, this is a good one, the graboids from the popular Kevin Bacon
Got
film,
it!
Tremors.
Woo!
Give it
Love
to me,
it.
go. Put 10 seconds on the
Oh,
clock,
do
go.
we need to get him first?
What do you mean?
Oh, I thought he was going to spin and then you rebut and then I pick. Let's keep it for the, just argue the thing.
Fine, all right, I get 10 seconds?
No, you can have as long as you want.
No.
I just wanted to say 10 seconds on the board.
It used to be
There
60
is
seconds.
no
Do we have to
rules.
call Jared?
He said 10 seconds. You said 10. He goes, whatever you want. He just folded immediately.
Kevin, put 10, 12, 60
Well,
seconds on the clock.
what the Ace realized was I looked at it and I was like, how long are we do the show for? Because it's supposed to be 45 minutes and I have no idea when we started.
All right.
All right, let's go 60 seconds on the clock. How about
was
that?
45
Give me 2
minutes.
seconds.
You want 2 seconds or 60 seconds? Make up your damn mind.
Ready?
Yeah.
Ready?
Go.
Let me tell you about the Graboids, ladies and gentlemen. Tremors. A fantastic film franchise.
damn, you're right.
Well, I mean, we can start with Tremors 1, of course. Can you fly? When he fucking tricks
you
it and goes
fly,
out there,
Bobby?
right? But like, what a
RoboCop,
great
great movie.
idea in this little desert town nobody cares about. And turns out there's these gigantic worms in the first movie down there that are all, they can hear motion. You got to get up on the rocks. You got to stay away. Another all-star cast, Reba McEntire. You
Huge.
find Michael Gross,
Huge.
Kevin Bacon, the guy who looks
The
like
guy from Reba Williams?
Exactly.
Great movie. Great
And then
movie.
they keep evolving the franchise. That was the thing. Eventually, Graboids, it turns out they're eating to then give birth to little Graboids that run around. They make jokes about it, about naming them. Then you got a Graboids arcade machine in the next one. They keep losing cast members, but they keep bringing Michael Gross back to keep it all tied together. And they're hunting these things. And they're disgusting. And they're terrifying.
But why are they a good monster?
Because they're
10
horrifying,
seconds.
and you can see them take down an entire town. They take down an entire town, puts them on the ropes, and it needs Kevin Bacon in his truck to make things right.
And I love trucks.
Woo, that was good. How long do they get for the rebuttal? 30 seconds for the rebuttal. Go.
Wait, 30 seconds.
I got it.
He's looking at a clock.
Daddy's got a watch on.
Here's the thing. Did I like the movie? Yes. Do people talk about that movie?
Great movie.
Yes. But it lives in this cult classic kind of obscure world. You know?
Everybody knows the Tremors.
Everyone knows about Tremors. If I went to 20 people, I say, hey, who's all in Tremors? They go, oh, Kevin Bacon? Yeah, he's in all the movies. What else about it? I think there's a big wiener-looking worms that are in the ground.
Yep.
That's all. People don't know about it. So is it great? Sure. Is it iconic? No. Are they great monsters? Not really.
They were
Time's
able
up.
to talk about the monsters. They knew the monster would be a penis. I mean, come on.
Yeah, it's a real inappropriate monster.
This is going to be a hard one because I do love the Tremors.
Yeah.
So we'll see what comes up next. Jeff, spin that wheel.
I'll hold it for you. We've been
Ooh,
going
the
a long
double
time.
spin.
All right.
There it
Bishop.
is. All right. All right. That might be cheating, but I'll give it to you.
Number
10. Tyler Fulton says Sully from Monsters, Inc.
Which is interesting, because that was my secret
Ah!
Sully
60 seconds on the
from
clock.
Monsters
Go.
Inc. I believe should be the #1 monster up there because he has something that no other monsters have. Sully is
Charisma.
likable.
Yeah.
However, he's one of the best scarers in that whole area, right? He's getting the scares to keep the city funded. He's adorable, he's likable, he's loyal, he's a good friend, he's a father figure to that little boo, you know, like he takes her, he fights the meaner monsters. He's not only a sweetheart, but he's also a very scary monster. He has all the things we like in a hero and can be the best monster because we know it from the board that's in Monsters, Inc. that he's one of the best scarers in the world. In fact, a Hall of Famer, a first ballot Hall of Famer, because you can look at the thing, he's #1 in the whole land.
All right. Greg, 30 seconds for rebuttal.
You
Go.
shit all over Dracula from Monster Squad because it was a kid's movie. This is a kid's movie. He violates your rules. He's cool, you keep saying. He's not cool. He's not
He is
scary.
cool.
He's not any.
He's scary because he scares little
He's
kids.
fun. He's cute. It's a kid's comedy movie.
Was your guy cute?
Monster? What? No,
No?
he wasn't. It's a monster title movie, sure, but he's not a monster. He can't stand against the xenomorph. He can't even stand next to King Kong, and we all agree King Kong sucks.
No,
this is outrageous. This should not have been
didn't
included.
agree that
This
King
shouldn't
Kong
have been
sucks.
picked from the Patreon people. This is an
Also,
embarrassment for.
He's a likable, lovable
This is my
monster.
30 seconds, sir. It was quiet during your 30-second rebuttal. You understand what I'm saying?
Well, there's no rules here.
I've noticed. It's a comedy. It is not a monster movie. He is not scary. Throw it out, Johnny Ace. Do the right thing.
Here's the problem. The movie is, in fact, called Monsters, Inc., and you know how literal I am.
Can we go wide shot?
Sorry.
But I do love Tremors. Damn it. Tremors a hidden gem.
Yes. And it's not.
It's definitely hidden.
It's not Halter. It's hidden. It's on TBS all the time.
Yeah.
People know it. Johnny, think back to being a young boy in Riverside.
Yeah, no.
That woman gets tangled up in her jeans in the barbed wire, and the Tremors come in, and Kevin Bacon's got to cut it off and
takes
get her
the
out.
jeans off. And
Yes.
so
yes.
You can be scary and lovable and have a role
Tremors
model
is
with
scary
Sully.
and sexy.
All right, ladies and gentlemen.
Also, my only problem with the Dracula from Monster Squad is that he was inappropriate to a kid.
Yeah.
Whereas Sully was
Well,
a hero to a kid.
He scared the kids for a
kids
long
gotta learn.
time.
Scaring kids to get
The
power
prob-
for his town.
The problem with Sully is that he
Blue-collar monster.
saved that one girl. But how many other countless children did he just traumatize?
He just
over the years?
scared.
How many kids did he traumatize over the years that
To
are getting
fuel
years and
the
years of therapy?
city.
Ladies and gentlemen, here's my pick. Tremors wins out on that one. Yeah, I have
feel
no
like
idea
the
how it goes on the
judge-
list.
You're
though.
fair and just.
Might be
Oh,
biased.
it's your list. You put it where do you think?
Oh, so it knocks out other things? Fantastic. Okay.
Kevin Spacey.
Tremors.
I mean, Kevin Spacey's a man.
Tremors is going to have to go right at number 6.
He's just a human.
That's where it's going to go.
Okay.
gonna go
Knocking
number
King
6.
Kong off the list as
Yeah.
deservedly so.
Unfortunately, yeah, I don't think Sully's going to make the list. I don't think he's going to make the list, ladies and gentlemen.
Sully was
It
my
doesn't matter.
secret weapon. I'm glad I didn't use it earlier.
Yeah, good job. Good job. That worked out, yeah.
All right, the score as it stands right now, still Jeff 3, Greg 2. Greg, I hope this one goes your way.
Oh, it's Veto.
It's the veto. Round 3, ladies and gentlemen, the veto. Here's the idea for this. Let's see. Greg has fewer picks in the top 5, and thus, is this?
We actually have a prop for the Veto.
Oh, cool. I didn't know that. I don't watch the show. Greg, and thus the losing. As such, they get a chance to make up some ground with the veto. Bronze members at the patreon.com/kindoffunny have submitted trivia questions about today's topic. I picked one, and if Greg gets it right, he gets to veto and knock one off the top 5 list. He can put his whatever he wants. I hope you get this right. If not, you're just going to lose so hard. You're going to lose so hard right now. Here is the trivia question. Hold on. I don't have enough space on it.
I'm nervous about this veto. You get to take one off the list.
Here we go.
If I get the question right, yeah.
Here we go. Okay. Where's the damn question? Why are there so many pages? Here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, today's veto question comes from Patreon supporter Kyle Soden. He supported over on patreon.com/kindoffunnygames. He asks, in Gremlins, the
Okay.
set used
Oh.
for Kingdom Falls is also used for which other film?
Fuck. I'm gonna.
Sorry, time's up.
Yeah, okay, It's a Wonderful Life. It's a Wonderful Life because they're watching It's a Wonderful Life, and is that the callback to it?
That is incorrect.
Yes.
That is incorrect.
What is it?
For a chance to steal, do you know the answer to this?
No, there's no stealing. He's in the lead.
I just want to see if he knows the answer.
Okay,
I don't know
that's
the
fine.
answer.
Don't let him bury me.
Is it a wonderful life?
It is not A Wonderful Life. We've already established that, Jeff. Thank you for that. No, it is in fact the hit Robert Zemeckis film, Back to the Future.
No
Same
shit.
sets.
It's
I
Hill
could've-
Valley.
I could've
Well, that's what it
guessed
says in the
that.
document. I didn't really check it, so who knows?
Wild West
Who knows if it's
Hill
true? Maybe. Yeah.
No, it wasn't Wild
No, they
West
built
Hill
that set
Valley.
somewhere else. They probably built that in your backyard, Kevin. All right, ladies and gentlemen, the final round, round 4. It is the final pick. Time for the final round. Each contestant gets to pick whatever game they want and argue for 60 seconds. Excuse me, whatever movie they want and argue for 60 seconds to get it on the list. They can introduce new picks, push up their old picks, or even steal an opponent's pick and possible points. Let's see. 60 seconds on the clock. Kevin, let's put that on the clock. Greg, you have some ground to make up here. You're going to go first.
Give me a s-
It's okay. I'll do it right now. And
I need to see the list.
Go.
I need to see the list, please.
Wow. I can't do both, turns out.
Then
I'll
he can watch
keep
the clock,
time. How
Kevin.
about
Don't
that,
worry.
Big Cat?
Wide screen
And
that big.
the list, Kevin. Just there we go. And go.
We have criminally underrated Godzilla, ladies and gentlemen. Godzilla needs to go higher. He is king of the monsters. When you think of an iconic monster, who do you think of? You think of Godzilla, smashing up Tokyo. He has hit heavy metal songs written about him. You go anywhere in San Francisco, you see posters that have been made of him destroying the Golden Gate Bridge. He is everywhere. Now, it's the thing, we think about it. You think about him shooting out the electricity out of his mouth. You think about the big budget movies that happen. The fact that they keep coming back to the well on Godzilla and making movie after movie. The fact that he is an international phenomenon. Not just someone here who's big in the 80s in America, like so many of our great movie monsters here. He is somebody who transcends time. He is somebody who transcends regions, countries, languages. Godzilla has kids at one point. Godzilla is, by the way, somebody said earlier that he's a pet in the new one. Remember, we're his pet. Godzilla's our protector in the new universe of this. Spoilers for the new Godzilla stuff. Godzilla is king of the monsters, period.
And that's time.
I agree with a lot of those arguments. When I made them a few minutes ago.
I'm stealing your pick, sir. You didn't argue well enough. You only got it to 3. That's an embarrassment.
Listen, I'll be honest. I said a lot of those things.
Yeah.
You know?
did.
Yeah.
You did.
So it seems like, it was my pick, and that's why it's up there, and those were my arguments, and that's how it got there. I am going to fight to get Freddy Krueger a little higher up the list. Do I believe he's better?
Wait a minute now.
Let him go. He did it. It's locked in.
Strategy-wise, you're already winning.
Yeah, I know that.
So you need to get another on the list. It'd be smarter for you to fight
why?
for someone else. I'm just letting him know how the game works. Maybe the Graboids will get a little higher on the list if you argue for them.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Here's the thing.
Yeah. Or you put Freddy Krueger. You know
you're
you
right.
want.
Freddy Krueger's already 3. I don't think he's better than a xenomorph, so why would I strategy-wise put him up there? I was not going to try to think he's better than a xenomorph. I think that the Graboid is definitely
you're
the
a
one
piece of
that
shit.
I would like to steal.
Jeff.
Because, Greg,
Right.
after you made so many great arguments about that film, I started to agree with you. You're very good. You
Kevin
showed
Bacon,
on the
man,
show.
Footloose.
I started listening to you and going, why was I so hard on it? Because it looks like a
Footloose.
wiener? Big deal. People like when things are wormy and snaky and wienery.
Yeah.
Not to mention, that movie was underrated. I felt like I was only disagreeing with you so that I could kind of win that round. But if I'm being honest with myself and being the good guy that I am,
Yeah.
I would say, definitely the Graboids and Tremors. Reba McEntire. You got Kevin Spacey.
Kevin
I mean, that
Spacey.
movie's phenomenal.
Not in Trevor's Kevin Spacey.
It's a cult classic because so many people are fighting to make that movie more popular
Yeah.
than what it was given.
A lot of them, too. Still making them.
They're going through the sand. It's almost kind of a Beetlejuice vibe. That Graboids deserves to be a lot higher and with a red J next to it.
That's time right there. Rebuttal?
He didn't believe any of those arguments. He literally said what I said over again. I think he put Kevin Spacey in it, which doesn't make any goddamn sense.
I mean, it would have
Since you
been
did
maybe
the
better if he
Godzilla.
was in it, but maybe not. Who knows?
Kevin Bacon, you know what I meant.
All right, ladies and gentlemen,
You know which
we've
Kevin I was
reached
talking about.
the final decision here. You guys argued very, very valiantly. Jeff,
Passionately.
clearly great on camera. You got a career in this.
Thanks, bud.
I really want to see you do more.
Let's
Stuff.
do
Get out
some
there,
more together with
get
your
on
buddy.
TV. That sounds great.
Kevin.
Greg, you're wearing a suit. You really dressed up. Somebody clearly shipped you that for free. Here's
Opposites.
what I'm going to say. Good arguments. But this is the aces list, ladies and gentlemen. At the end of the day, this is a monument to my ego. This is the second, arguably 1.5 best show on the internet. Everyone knows KFAF is fantastic. Everyone should watch that on Wednesdays, 11 a.m. Pacific time, West Coast, Best Coast. I'm going to say this. I'm looking at this list right now, guys, and I like where it stands. I'm not moving anything. This is the final list right here, ladies and gentlemen. At number 1, Xenomorphs from Greg's pick. At number 2, Predator, Jeff's pick. Godzilla, Jeff's pick. At number 3, Freddy Krueger, Jeff's pick. At number 4, and rounding out the top 5, Jason from any of the Nightmare. No, not Nightmare Monster. Doesn't matter. Friday the 13th franchises with Greg. The score stands 3-2. Jeff Dye is our winner today.
Thank you very much. And also the bottom 2 picks were yours also.
Thank you.
9 and
Thank
10
you.
were also
Yeah,
yours.
yeah.
For audio
Yeah.
listeners,
7.
Graboids, Aliens, Bram Stoker's Dracula, and Kevin Spacey round out the top 10. And that concludes today's episode of Debatable. Gentlemen, thank you so much
What
for
do I
coming in to
win
compete.
besides a Sasha Banks glass of water?
That's a great question, and I do maybe have one extra little Red Bull for
We
you
have
if
a
you
lot
want
of
that.
LaCroix you can take too.
If you want
As
that.
Oh, yeah, I love that.
We're
There you
using
go,
it as a
ladies and
stand
gentlemen.
for Johnny Ace.
Remember, check back here every Thursday live at roughly 11:15 or 11:18 or 11 o'clock a.m. Pacific Standard Time after Games Daily. We do this show every week. I am your new host, John L. Ace, Esquire, Notary Public, physician's assistant, and physician. I assist myself. If you guys want to be a part of this show, go over to patreon.com/kindafunnygames, and you can back us at the bronze tier. Maybe you can get on the wheel. Maybe your trivia question will be read, or maybe
Miss
not.
Gutierrez is
Until next time, ladies and gentlemen, find your friend and tell him he's wrong at everything. I love you.
Yeah.